quite proud of. I know that was just a general overview. I will be happy to take questions. Any of you may have. Yes, sir.
Yeah, when the new park commissioners revised the charter and opened it up to just about everything originally, I understand now that that's a bit revised and some restrictions have been put in, so it's not quite so wide open. I wonder how the charter.
I don't have a copy with me, and our board has been very open and honest about that. They did put together a list of things that may occur in the park as a result of some zoning restrictions that may be applied to us. They have since retracted that. You are correct. It reads much more vague. If there's anything I can't provide here today, I would be happy to. We're subject to public records requests. I would be happy to provide you with a copy. Yes.
I have two questions. Are you, as an employee of the Park District, consulted? Like, when one reads things in the paper, and you try to have an open mind, sometimes it's difficult because one has a prejudice one way to the other. But when they talk about reduction of hours, I believe I just recently read that. Are you, as an employee or other employees, consulted in those kinds of decisions? Are they based on statistics, or are they, and the other question is, I also read about the Sunnybrook Trails where there was, and I was upset with that. We use Sunnybrook, it's a darling little park, and I don't need the handicap accessible, but I appreciate that I may someday. So is it really true that accessible, and why did that happen, and were you consulted?
Sure. Let me speak to your first question. I want to make sure I understand your question about hours. So is that related to building hours?
No, I think I had written one of the, I'm sorry, I didn't bring it because there's been, as you know, there's been a ton of stuff, and I started collecting it. It was just, it had to do with hours, in general hours in the park accessible to the public. That there was a reduction in 3 or 4 parks with the hours. And if that doesn't
I want to be careful. I don't want to speculate. I can
Okay.
tell you that the majority of our parks are open from 6 to 11, and that has not changed. So,
maybe it was the nature center.
okay, some of the nature center hours have changed slightly.
Okay.
We're open from 10 to 4:30. We took a half hour off of our end time at the Westminster Nature Center.
Okay.
And that was simply, to answer your question about, that was staff saying we could make this change and still have time.
Okay, because I think that, to me, is so very important. Not that the change necessarily took place, but why the change took place, and if you're consulting. So that
Yes.
that answers that. And then the Sunnybrook question.
Yes, the Sunnybrook, a portion, a small portion, and I think it was, I don't want to speculate, but the majority of that trail is still open. It is still paved, it is still ADA accessible. A portion of that was removed because we could have been better neighbors in that situation. That trail literally ran right down the property line, right next to a bedroom, a breakfast nook, right where our neighbors were. And so that's why that trail was removed. And I don't want to stand here and speculate, make allegations about were mistakes made in the past, were they not made in the past. But that is one in particular where we could have developed that property a little bit differently and been sensitive to those particular neighbors in the south.
I know it's for years it's been a very.
But we were careful. We were careful not to remove all that trail. So the majority of that paved trail is still there. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've been on that trail and use it moderately also because it is an easy trail to get around. If I recall, the piece removed was by a driveway. I mean, have you seen where the trail was removed?
I have.
Okay. There's a driveway, a front door, a garage, and all that. There was a number of trees planted to type try to buffer the situation. Now, without that segment in there, one would have to walk through the parking lot to go around that path. You try to go around more than once. Is there any thoughts of extending that trail a little bit differently to be a good neighbor and still provide some function there?
That's the first thought I had, so that's something we could take a look at. I don't know, but that's something we could take a look at.
Yeah, because right now, to complete the loop, you gotta go through the parking. Where before you went across one road by the entrance road. But at least it's a nice pleasant park, and it's a shame to see it being detracted.
I like to ride the bike trail, but I'm kind of a wuss, and I like to know that someone is going to be following me or be around. Do you get volunteers that ride that trail often? And do you know when, like the best?
I don't. I know that we have a volunteer bike patrol. How often they volunteer, because they are volunteers, I do not know. You could call in, I could direct you to one of our rangers, and one of our rangers should know, so.
I mean, it's like, you drive out.
I have been on the bike path a lot with my kids, and they're out often. They're out and pretty often. Yeah.
And are they identified? Or
yeah.
you just know?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
they're, yeah, you know that they are there for that purpose.
Do you have a senior riding a bike club? So I think that would be something nice that maybe we could collaborate on, because I think it's, you know, there's a lot with the parks that I think are underused because seniors don't, you know, or like, I mean, you know, I think it would be intimidating for someone, if you're like me, who's a little scared, all the, you know, there's creepy people. I am, so,
Or not only that,
Well,
but if you're out there and something that should happen.
oh, yes, there are. Okay. Yes, there are.
Be brave.
Okay.
To speak to clubs, there are a number of clubs. Hi, Joy. Joey Kecko is with Ohio Horsemen's Council. There are a number of clubs that utilize our parks. We don't cater to clubs per se, because we want to serve, back to our mission, as many people as we can. So what we do is we encourage clubs to use our parks, and then we offer programs to everyone. So, but by all means, there are a number of different clubs that have formed. They utilize our parks. Well, we don't
Keep politics out of it.
we don't intentionally discriminate against them. If one club wants to come meet at the parks, then they can come meet at the parks. We encourage them, we encourage all of them to utilize our shelters, because Geauga Park District does not run, other than our ranger department, we don't run a quote-unquote second shift after the hours of 4:30. So we encourage any group to come utilize our parks, whether it's church groups, whether it's the Republicans, the Democrats, whoever wants to come use our park, they're welcome to reserve and use our park. Yes, sir.
Are there any park commissioners here present?
Are there any park commissioners?
Present here at this gathering?
There are not.
None, okay. I just wonder if there were, if they would introduce themselves. There aren't.
There
Okay,
is.
another question.
Yes.
All right, years ago, I don't know, more than a few, there was property for sale. There was property available, which became the Westwoods Park. All right, developers were after it. There was no money available to buy it. A good citizen by the name of Bill Ginn used his own resources as collateral in order to get a loan to purchase that land from developers. Okay, and then levy was passed, and there was money to buy property. All right, now it seems, I think, that there's been a cut in the assessment for parks, and if that's the case, why has that been done?
Purchasing parks?
Well, for whatever purpose. There's been a cut in funding for the parks, whether it was purchasing land or whatever the money was for,
Okay,
all
I
right?
didn't understand.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. So why has that been done? It seems to me that if you want to curtail a program, you cut the funding. And I think that's an issue here that's involved in this whole brouhaha that's going on right now.
That's what I wanted to ask, because I read in the paper there were 9 million. It's people's money, and you should spread it around, or make it sound like the park commissioners stole the money from the people or used it for themselves. Anyhow, I mean, I grew up in an age where you saved. When you had something left over, you put it aside, and you had some more left over, and you put it aside. So when an occasion arrives, that you can really use that money to correct. And when they have that money, it's for a good reason, so that when one of these properties come up somewhere, instead of a developer snapping it up with his huge resources, they can take the money and say, hey, we preserve. I want it pristine the way it is. And you mentioned before, they're developing stuff that everybody has access. A park is not there for games and whatever, and for recreational vehicles. It is there for tranquility and preserve nature. See, this is my philosophy. We can't interfere everywhere. And so leave it alone. Cultivate small paths that people can.
But because someone else has a different opinion than you, they're not allowed to have an opinion?
No, they can have an opinion, but you don't have to dictate
I'm
philosophy.
just saying, we're not gonna argue opinions because that's people, everybody has.
That's right, Sandy. But no, I just mean by interfering in the natural process of things. I mean, I wrote a letter to the paper, it's in today's thing,
Well, written.
yesterday.
Okay, I had a question there.
Yeah, that's why I was just going to say, thank you, let me go back to your question. Thank you for your comments. Thank you.
They were good comments.
Yes, they were.
Very good.
Thank you. So your question